damn, your voice sounds sexy. You sexy man, you. You're sexy and you got a nice butt.
Yo. This will never be on the radio.
Cagno Radio. Start now.
Episode 53 of Cagno Radio begins right now. Joe is here. It's Tuesday night if you're keeping track at home, and I've got a Sam Adams Boston Lager. He's got a Coors Light that honestly must have a hole in it. We got down here. I've taken 2 sips. Yours is almost gone.
Yeah, it is. I think there is a hole in it. A lot of these that you give me, I think they're like trick bottles. Like Pee Wee Herman would have got him right after the shrunken head in that shop when the guy's like, shrunken head, normal head, and then he pulls out the big one. Ah.
Are you thinking of Emo Phillips?
No, it wasn't Emo Phillips, the guy who ran the magic shop on Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
I don't remember who that was.
It was like a nobody, like that I know. I mean, it was somebody's son. So it wasn't a nobody in that sense. The guy had family who loved him. I'm sure.
Who currently brag about.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever see Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse? It's like, I think it was called Pee Wee's Playhouse. Yeah, Pee Wee Herman's Big Playhouse. Yeah, my uncle was on that show.
Yeah, Trent. Yeah. He was the magic shop owner. Trick gum?
He was no one.
Yeah.
It's like I saw a thing the other day that someone said, you see those Chevy commercials where they say not an actor, and you know that's someone's big break where they're like, well, I'm an actor in Hollywood. They get on there and it clearly says before they come on,
right,
not an actor. They're like, well, I mean, I was
Whatever happened to that brunette from like the GMC or Buick commercials?
What?
Remember that brunette? Like maybe
Jill Wagner. I've looked her up in the last 6 weeks.
I follow her on Twitter because she's an idiot. Did you see the way she curled her hair last week? And that once it like came off her shoulder, it was all curly and nice.
Her name's Jill Wagner.
Yeah, whatever happened to her? Because she did like GM commercials. Then she had like a pilot for a television show.
Right.
And then done.
Yeah, she was originally.
She didn't give in to Weinstein, so she got the boot that killed her career. He was like, hey, sweetheart, how about you come up to my hotel room
and watch me shower?
Yeah, and she's like, I'm not doing it. And he's like, money's on the dresser. Next. Yeah, that was it. That was the end of her career.
She started out on that show, not Punked. No, she was on Punked with Ashton Kutcher. Do you remember the show Punked?
Yeah.
Then she went on to those. Yeah, she was on there, and then I may or may not have really looked into Jill Wagner recently.
Okay.
The reason I looked into
Jill Wagner doesn't seem like a Hollywood name.
Well, that's the thing. It's probably her given name, right? Like you always know when someone's got a Hollywood name when their name is like, Zorro Torres or something,
right?
Or Jonathan Taylor Thomas. When they have the 3 names, they mean business.
Or they're a serial killer. We call serial killers by all 3 names or really cool Hollywood people.
Anyways, Jill Wagner was in a Hallmark movie that I watched over the holidays. So I looked her up. I'm like, man, that girl's hot, but man, is she a bad actress? I better look her up. Like, because my wife was sitting right there. So I'm like, I better look her up and find out how stupid she is.
So I don't watch any of those other dumb movies that she probably ruined.
Man, it would suck if she did any nudity.
Oh, it'd be terrible.
It would be terrible if she was ever in any films where she was nude.
Or on the beach. Where she was on the beach playing volleyball or something. I wouldn't want anyone to see that. So I should probably see it and then let everyone know on Facebook not to see this movie.
Anyways, it was her. And I think she had some work done on her face. That's all
I think I went to school with a girl named Jill Wagner.
I think we all went to school with a girl named Jill Wagner. I went to school with a kid named John Hahn. Okay, now, those from Royal Oak know the name John Hahn. He was a kid that we went to school with, right?
And we played Frisbee golf with.
We did?
Didn't we play Frisbee golf with John
We may
Hahn?
have. He was probably a Frisbee golf player. The reason I bring it up, though, is because you would think a name that rolls off the tongue like John Hahn would be one that probably...
But you'd think he was Asian.
Yeah. He's not Asian.
He's not Asian. He was white.
Yeah.
And he was kind of a stoner from what I remember, right?
I don't know if stoner. I mean, he's a party man a little bit. Yeah. But the funny thing about John Hahn is that you would think the name, a little bit of teasing went on when he was younger because his name's John Hahn. As I got older, I not only met 2 other John Hahns that were not related to him, but my wife and another friend of mine went to high school with someone named John Hahn. Wouldn't it? You know what I mean?
It's a popular German name, I believe. H-A-H-N, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right. Right. You first hear it and you're like, you hear it and you think Asian, but then you see how it's written and you're like, clearly Eastern European.
Yeah, aren't you always just blown away when you meet somebody and they're not Asian?
Right. Yeah.
Like, like when you meet like Mr. Huang and you're like, oh my God, you're not Asian.
Yeah. Or if someone's last name is Young, it's like, I don't know what to expect.
You don't know what type of person's going to walk
It could
in.
either be like a white kid who played soccer, went to college and played soccer. Like, that seems like a Young to me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Steve Young. Or, well, that's bad because that guy played football. That's Cooper Young, played for Oakland University, Golden Grizzlies. Or
the who?
The Golden Grizzlies. I like to put L's where they don't belong.
So I went yesterday to Kirby's. And
Coney Island?
Yeah, the reason I'm telling you that is because, first of all, National Pancake Day is today, Tuesday, which, for the record, can we just be done with all the national this? Like, oh my God, it's National Puppy Day. It's National Love Your Best Friend Day. It's National like, it's whatever. It is what it is. So last night I was, like, in the mood for breakfast. I knew they served it, like, 24 hours. So I'm like, okay, we'll go to Kirby's. So I take my kids to Kirby's. It was one of the oddest, weirdest situations we've ever been in. Like, we come in there, and the hostess is like, hey, sit wherever you want. We got 3 new tables. Someone's got to take these tables. She's like yelling to the back, but I'm like,
you're like, wait. How about you tell me where to sit so you don't have to call someone from the back?
And also, we can hear you. Like, it would seem.
We got 3 stupid idiots that just came in. We just got done cleaning the kitchen, getting ready to close. Hey, guys, sit wherever you want.
So this same hostess.
They look like they're not going to tip well.
Moneybags over here has been out of work for about a year.
Right.
It's almost been a full year.
He has that unemployed look about him. Probably going to come in and see if it's the never-ending pancakes. We still got that deal going.
Oh, what? It doesn't start till tomorrow? He said, oh, wait. He'll wait. So we sit down. We order our food, and it was one of those things where, like, the person, you couldn't really hear them. Like, even my kids were like, were they speaking English? I'm like, I think so. Everybody just shut up and order. So we order our food, and then I look up, and I see this hostess is arguing with the waitress, like arguing with all the waitresses. She's like, because that's all I heard was, because that's my job. That's why. And she walks over to our table like, everything okay over here?
You're like, yeah, apparently everything's not okay over there. I was about to come ask you guys the same thing.
So she's like, everything okay over here? And I'm like, yeah, we're fine. Then it happened. Out from the back.
You pooped your pants.
No, out from the back comes this same hostess, which I'm not sure if she was a hostess, a manager, an owner in training. I don't know what she was.
She was a crap stirrer.
Yeah, so she comes out, and she has a plate. Now, we thought it was fajitas at first. It wasn't fajitas. Do you know what it was?
Cal. Who goes to Kirby's Coney Island and orders fajitas?
Well, who goes to Kirby's Coney Island and orders
Saganaki?
That's what. Well, yeah, that's what it should sound like. She came out, dumped what looked to be lighter fluid. I don't know. It was definitely not liquor.
Isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah, dumps it on there, lights it, and instead of it being like "Opa," and everyone's like hype and someone's smashing plates,
right?
It was like "Opalito." And my daughter goes, "Would she say Oompa Loompa?" And I'm like,
You're like, just be quiet. They're Armenian. They're not actually Greek. They're Armenian. We could get hurt.
So then,
you're like, just don't make eye contact.
So then so they say Opalita about that loud, Opalita, and then I was like, this whole time if they've been saying Opalita, I thought it was always Opa.
Right, Opa.
Yeah, and then they boom, and there's like a big flame. Right. It looks like the beginning of a
wrestling. Someone punches you in the stomach.
It looks like the beginning of a wrestling event.
Right.
Boom. There's just
Kane comes out from the back.
I'm here for the never-ending pancakes. Anyway,
or who's the manager of the Undertaker? Stan Van Gundy. Yeah.
That's not his name.
Yeah, Stan Van
Paul
Gundy.
Bearer.
Yeah,
Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer was played by Stan Van Gundy, I think. I've never seen the two in the same room.
What's hilarious is you actually just said, who's the manager? I don't know that he was really the manager of The Undertaker. I think he was more of a sidekick.
Well, regardless, I think he was played by Stan Van Gundy.
Oh, God.
I don't know when he went from wrestling to basketball.
Sorry. Oh God. Okay. So anyway, we're at Herbie's. I'm sorry, everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So now I'm thinking about the Undertaker, and every time he had that hair that was like hanging in his face,
and the pallbearer, Stan Van Gundy was always like, ooh.
And he was always like, "You rang."
Yeah.
Boom. Remember they
Yeah,
would like
that's how the
boom,
Undertaker was.
and people would lose their mind.
Yeah.
People would be just
You'd
sitting there
hear that.
smoking, right? They'd be smoking, watching, and all of a sudden you hear boom.
And everyone would be like, look to the entrance. And all of a sudden it would just be him and Stan Van Gundy holding the urn.
That's right.
And he'd be like, oh, like he talked real high. It was like, what is going on? Just run your triangle offense and get off the screen.
Hey, he ran a funeral home in his spare time, right?
Yeah.
He was the pallbearer.
He's a mortician. Yeah. He went to school. Takes a lot more schooling than to be a doctor.
Yes. So anyways, we go to check out. We finally get up to the front, and we can't find this amazing hostess who's now done. Opalita. We can't find her.
Yeah.
And I turn around, and there's a guy standing there having a conversation with his table. These people don't speak English at all. And he's like, yeah, I mean, it's a little weird. Most people here are Chaldean, and I mean that in a good way. And my kids were like, what? And he's like, I'm Russian, but a lot of people here are, they're Greek, like Chaldean. And I'm thinking, I don't think Greek and Chaldean are the same thing.
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and I think if you're listening, and you're Greek or Chaldean, you would be screaming at your, iPod Nano that you're listening to this on,
right,
in saying, no, they're not the same thing. So yeah, by the time we left, we all were
listening to your Zune.
That never took off, did it?
No.
Remember, Microsoft was like, screw this crap. It's time for us to get in the game.
We're doing a Zune. And guess what? It was in the post-apocalyptic Denzel Washington, whatever that movie, not Man on Fire, whatever, Book of Eli.
Yeah, Book of Eli.
He had a Zune in that.
Oh, he did, yeah.
That's the only time I've ever seen
They
one.
probably paid big bucks for it to be in there.
Yeah.
Have you seen Ready Player One, the preview for that new movie?
Yeah, I've seen the preview for it.
It looks like if my dad had to write a movie about video games. I'm not going to lie. It looks like if they were like, hey, Steve, could you just come up with a screenplay about video games? He's like, yes, I will. If you have ever played a video game, this is nothing like this. It's like, we live in a world where, the world has ended and all we can do is slip away. And but then they go into this game that's like all looks like pod racing from like the prequels to the Star Wars series. It's not even like cool. Like it's like no frame of reference. Like they were so out of touch. And it's like from director Steven Spielberg. Do you think a 12-year-old kid who's into gaming gives a crap about Steven Spielberg? He doesn't even know who that is.
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg. Remember on The Simpsons, they hired his Mexican counterpart. They couldn't afford the real Steven Spielberg, so they got Steven Spielberg. He was his Mexican, cheaper version.
Doppelganger.
But for real, though, who gives a crap about Ready Player One?
No, I not me.
By the way, this has been the most crazy break we've ever done in our lives. But I have not laughed this hard in 3 weeks. So thank you for listening, everybody.
This is a journey into sound.
Wait a minute, you better talk to my mother.
Cagno Radio. Episode 53 of Cal Cagno Radio continues. I'm Cal, this is Joe, and yes, we've composed ourselves. It's a good night tonight.
It is.
Yes. I went to look at a suit the other day because I have to buy a suit.
Men's Warehouse?
No, I actually went to Macy's for this suit.
Oh.
And my son and I were there, and we come up, and I'm trying to figure out how much they are, right, without being that guy who's like very worried about price, but I don't have a lot of dough right now.
Right.
So I'm thinking, okay,
They're
how
like,
much?
you need to go to Mr. Allen's.
Let's just say
You get a lavender suit with spats and a top hat. Whole package, $70.
it comes with a stopwatch. Comes with a pocket watch, not a stopwatch. Stopwatch. If you want.
I just let you go with it. I'm like, what does stopwatch mean?
No.
It must be something I'm not hip to.
I meant a pocket watch. To put it into perspective, one of the last times I bought a suit, it was from a store called That Guy by Teen Man.
Oh, I think
at
that was on
Oakland.
Mallrats.
Yeah, it was at Oakland Mall. Yeah, it was called That Guy by Teen Man. Anyways.
Was Ben Affleck the salesman?
So I go into the store. I say to the guy, I'm interested in this suit, but my wife's not here because, she's the decision maker. And really, let's be honest, I was just so chicken about not wanting to buy it that I used my wife not being there as an example of why I couldn't buy it. So he says to me, so what size pants you wear, about 38? And I was like morally offended by that because I like to think I'm a 34. I do own jeans that are 34. Let's just say I've worn them a lot, so now they've shaped to my body. And I was like, no, about a 34 or a 36. And he goes, sure. I'll pull the 38 for you. And I walked off and was like, I'm going to go talk to my wife and see if we're going to buy this suit. But really, I walked off like a grown jerk. I was all like, well, I never. And stormed off, wanted to go cry in my car.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So I got hit with that.
That's funny. I was fitted at work for a new uniform.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And
they're doing that Chick-fil-A and they're getting you guys new uniforms?
Yeah, we're getting, because it's a national promotion. And so the pants I'm wearing, the guy says, what size pants would you like to try on? And I was like, well, whatever these that I'm wearing, they're comfy.
He was like, good, 46? You're like, oh, crap.
Right. So I I take my pants off and I look at the size and I'm like, okay, these are 40s because I like a little room. I'm normally a 38.
Sure.
And so I'm like,
sure,
right.
I'll take the 40s over here for you.
Yeah. So, and he's like, oh, well, these are a different company, so the size runs a little different.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, well, I'm a 38, and so I like to wear 40s, so just give me the 40. I couldn't even get the button within 3 inches of the other side. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, give me the 42s. So I have 42s. That's the jeans I'm wearing right now are 38s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I'm getting 42s at work. So my coworkers like, jeez, you are so fat.
That's what I'm dealing with. Had he said, even if he were to say to me, hey, cool, let me pull the 34s, and I couldn't even get them over my hips.
Right.
I would have been happy with
jeans.
Yeah, I would have been happier with that than with him being like, sure, cool guy, I'll pull the 40s or 38s.
Right. He should have at least said, I'll pull the 36s, and then did a big wink, wink. Hey,
you want to look like a big man in front of your son? Sure, we'll pull those 36s.
Right.
Want to pull a 26 while we're at it, huh?
Yeah. The pleats? I'm guessing you want the pleats.
When was the last time you looked for dress clothes?
Right before my divorce.
Why'd you wear a suit to the divorce?
No, the last thing my wife and I did before we got divorced is I took her out for an evening at the Cheesecake Factory, and I went out. I bought a new outfit and everything. I bought a bow tie.
Oh God!
And so I'm like, she gets home. I'm like, hey, surprise, let's go to the Cheesecake Factory.
She's like, I want to talk to you about something as well.
Basically, what she said was, she goes, oh, a bow tie. She was confused. Oh, a bow tie. And the whole night was just kind of quiet. And then a few days later, I think I was served the papers.
I got something to tell you too, but you go first.
Yeah.
Oh, a bow tie. Okay, now you go. What did you want to say?
Right. I'll take the peanut butter cup cheesecake.
Yeah, buying, anytime you go into those situations, I just don't handle it real well. They're super pushy. They obviously, especially at Macy's, work on commission. And I am just not comfortable spending $500 on a suit.
Oh, no.
It's just ridiculous. So then the next day I went to, Banana Republic outlet over at Great Lakes Crossing Mall, which
To buy a suit?
They sell suits there.
A Banana Republic?
Outlet.
I've never seen anyone and been like, hey, nice suit. Where'd you get that? And they show me the tag on the lapel on the inside. And it says Banana Republic. I didn't know this.
We all just suppress the fact that place is called Banana Republic.
Right.
We're like, yeah, that seems like a normal name for the place.
Any business, anything in your life that has the word banana in it is corny. It's slapstick comedy.
Right.
Banana. He's going bananas. And then you put Banana Republic, and you're like, oh, those must be awesome clothes.
Yeah, that's higher end than the Gap. The Gap is low end compared to Banana Republic.
Right.
So I went there. So I take my daughter.
Coconuts United. That's what I'm going to do, a clothing line.
Yeah.
I'm going to charge $54 for a T-shirt and call it Coconut United.
You'll go up against Tommy Bahama. Have you ever been in that store?
No.
Imagine every middle-aged white man in America wanted a place to shop, and Tommy Bahama was born.
Really?
They have nothing but Hawaiian shirts and like white linen pants for fat old guys. Super white. Like it's for like 50 to 70-year-old white guys. It's so, and my father-in-law loves it. Like, he's like, oh, Tommy Bahama, I got this shirt from
He's like, so Christmas is coming up, and I do like gift certificates. I do like gift cards. I do like. Hey, guess what, Cal? It was weird. I was buying this shirt. You see this shirt? I was buying this the other day at Tommy Bahama, and they sell gift cards.
Yeah, it's a $70 Hawaiian shirt. Did you want to buy me one for Christmas, or you can just give me a gift card to Tommy Bahama?
I've never been to Hawaii nor the Bahamas, but I sure like to shop there.
It smells of coconuts in this store. It must mean rich, fine goods in this store.
A rich, deep linen, a linen with a high thread
Is there
count.
anything worse than when you see someone's wedding photos and they're all wearing linen? Like the dudes.
I hate it.
Like, you might as well, when you're wearing linen in your pictures, you might as well look like you're wearing the same outfits the Backstreet Boys wore.
Well, the thing is,
want it that way.
You're right. If you wear white linen pants, no footwear except thin little flip-flops, go with it. And then you have to wear some like loose button-up shirt.
Right.
I mean, the whole
Ill-fitting. Everything's ill-fitting because you want a wind to blow
gross.
through it or something.
Gross.
And then you have to wear some stupid hat. Like, eventually someone will have a stupid hat on in the picture.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who's got a wedding coming up, and she posted on Facebook, and she was like, hey, does anybody have, anybody have any ideas like for like extracurricular stuff we could do at the wedding? And what
You're like, paintball. I love paintball.
I'm not even invited. But she said, like a photo booth and, or maybe like a caricature artist. And I'm like, that's kind of weird, but okay. But it's like every time there's a photo booth, why is the Viking helmet so prominent?
Like everyone goes for the Viking helmet.
Why do they always
or
have
the
one?
feather boa?
Yeah, feather boa or the big like novelty sunglasses.
Yeah, the novelty sunglasses that have the year where like the eyebrows are.
Or they look like they're made of Venetian blinds
Right.
that can flip up at any
Right,
point. Yeah,
right.
I was just like, you know what? Don't do that stuff. It's not worth it. Like, you don't need a photo booth.
No, but you know what you need? A Coney bar. If you're
That'd be
out there and you're thinking about getting married, you could turn any wedding into the most memorable event with a Coney bar.
That would be sweet. Like right around 10 p.m. when people are like, tired of dancing so much.
And you've been drinking a little
Yeah.
bit, and so after you've had a couple, you're kind of getting hungry. Conies, baby.
They do taste good.
Oh,
We went to a
fantastic.
wedding one time. Well, your wedding, I remember. Did they have pizza that came out at the very end?
I don't think so.
Okay, well,
I don't
it
think
should have. And then we went to this other one. They had a candy bar where you could like fill up bags full of like gummy bears and like sour cherry balls. And
Ooh,
oh,
our hipster friend Michael Lloyd.
oh my God,
His wedding was at the Henry Ford, and he had a Coney bar.
he did.
You remember that?
Yes, I do. I will never forget that.
Oh.
Talk about us being out of place.
Oh,
We went to they shut down the Henry Ford Museum for us. Like, we could have made sweet, sweet love to our wives on the Wienermobile. Like, it could have happened. They shut that thing down.
They
And we
did.
were so out of place there.
we could have taken our woman and made out next to Tesla's death mask. Or the chair that Lincoln was assassinated in. We could have shared like a very
Very deep, passionate kiss with our women
right,
that night.
right, yeah. I mean, that was a sweet wedding, though.
Yeah, it was good. We had
When
a
it
good
was
time.
like,
We were way out of place just because
Way out of place.
we're not from any sort of tax bracket where people shut down the Henry Ford for their
yeah,
wedding.
like the whole time it was like the reception is gonna be at the Henry Ford, and I'm thinking like, okay, there's like a little church by there that, or like a little reception hall. I didn't realize the reception hall was under the giant plane that hung there.
Yeah, that like the spirit of St. Louis
Yeah,
or whatever.
and the whole thing was shut down, and it was like we ate, and then in between like eating and dancing, we were allowed to walk the museum. And so like the 100 people that were there, 100 people in the Henry Ford is nothing.
Right.
And you're just like walking around like, oh, yeah, this is This is where Rosa Parks sat.
Yeah,
you know?
like see the Rosa Parks, but you're like, wow, we're here.
Yeah.
Why are we here by ourselves?
And why is that bus here?
Okay, what? Why is any of that stuff here?
Why is the chair that Abraham Lincoln,
Yeah.
who probably never set foot in the state of Michigan, the only thing that I know that I can relate Michigan to Abraham Lincoln was
Call him Honest Abe, okay?
Honest Abe, the old stovepipe hat. The only thing that I can relate Michigan to Honest Abe is I believe he has a quote that like during the Civil War, the North was like losing and a regiment from like Michigan arrived as like reinforcements and he said, thank God for Michigan. Other than that, it has nothing to do with it. And we have the chair.
I know. The guy was born in Illinois. He was born in Illinois.
Right.
Yeah, lived his whole life there.
Read books by a candle.
Put his feet on the ceiling.
Put his feet on the ceiling.
Remember that story?
No.
Oh, yeah. No, when we were kids. Because I went to Lincoln Elementary. We had all these crazy stories. And it was like, Abraham Lincoln was such a mischievous boy that he picked up his brother and put him upside down and let him put footprints on the ceiling. Like he held him upside down.
And he wrestled the bar with his bare hands. But
yeah,
there's no reason.
Kennedy's car is there.
Kennedy's car.
Yep. Reagan's car.
Yep. There is no reason that stuff should be here in Detroit.
No.
Why isn't it in the Smithsonian? They have Archie Bunker's chair.
We have Abraham Lincoln.
We have Abe Lincoln's. Honest Abe's. That baffles me.
Yeah, but for the record,
absolutely baffles.
If you've never been to the Henry Ford, you should really go for a wedding because it's the best way to see it.
Yeah.
No lines. You can totally like go right next to the Wienermobile.
Yep, pictures all day.
Now slap your hands. Now spread those wings. Do-do-do-do. Feather your bangs. Shake your buns. That's nice. Now think about your dad. What's your dad like? I want to meet that dad. Do-do-do-do.